Krieghoff Semprio. There's precious little info about this rifle out on the web, so I thought that I needed to make a little bit of a video about it, trying to just illustrate a few of its benefits and shortcomings. And it's a kind of fascinating rifle, and I think we should maybe recognize it a little bit more for what it is. Anyway, first thing first, of course, checking that it's clear. It's clear, empty, nothing here. And why not remove the sling first? So it came with these nice studs. So with the sling away, we can move into checking out the rifle. So this is basically pump action, and it's a little bit unique in its way, because when you operate it, you fire a shot, then you get this slight gap and you pump it and get a new bullet, new round into the chamber. The odd thing here is, of course, that you move much of the rifle away from you. The whole scope and barrel and everything goes forward and then comes back. Makes for a quite interesting experience from the shooter's perspective, where basically the picture in the scope kind of not disappears but become a very narrow tube, and then when you cycle it, make a complete cycle, the picture in the scope grows and you basically coming back to your side picture. For me, this has worked really nicely, and I'm kind of fascinated also with this construction. That was the reason why I bought it from the beginning. But what first? The magazine. In this case, it's 9.3 by 62, holds 4 rounds. I guess you could basically load it with one in the chamber and then actually add one more. It would be a little bit finicky, and I wouldn't maybe recommend it, but 4 rounds is what it got. And already touched upon the operation of it, and it's really smooth. You can almost hear it, I guess. This is German engineering at its best. Modifications I've done: I tapped it for suppressor, removed the backside. This could of course have been done in a little bit nicer way, but this is what it is. You could of course potentially add it back and have some type of sight for mounted on your suppressor, like a backup. But what then? The operation. So coming maybe to the safety then. So we've got this lever here. So when emptying the rifle and such, you push this button and you can open it and get a round out and your magazine out, or vice versa. You load it up with your magazine, put it in, close it, and then you move it in this position. And I guess you can do it a little bit more silent if you want to. Completely silent, I would say. And when it's time to shoot, you push it forward, and then it's good to fire. This is basically tensioning up the spring, and then when you release it, you're safe. And I would say this is one of the more safer rifles that you can have, since I can't really imagine what you needed to do to make it misfire when you don't want it to fire. And this button here, I would say that's one of the best that I've encountered. Of course, it's a bit stiff, but it's very intuitive how it operates. The less intuitive part might be that you need to put it to the side when you want to open it, and that's the way. It's not a hard thing to learn. It comes quite natural. What more? The trigger maybe might be something of interest. So you need to push it forward, and it's very nice and crisp trigger. There you see it opens up so you can cycle it. And what more, it's got this snell trick in Swedish. You put it forward and then it's just a tiny touch. And I think that comes back to another benefit of this one. The precision in this rifle, this is a 1.5 to 6 scope, really made for more fast target acquisition and such. But the precision in this rifle is very nice. And this is kind of coming to the summary, not to the end of the review of this rifle. But I think what you get here is basically the speed of the semi-auto, since you don't need to drop the grip. You can keep the grip, but you get the precision of a bolt action rifle. That's quite nice. Of course, it comes with a few drawbacks that we'll touch upon soon. What more? Yeah, the reloading, checked a little bit on how you do that. The cycling of the action is quite nice, and I already mentioned that you got this odd experience of the scope coming back to you. It sounds really quirky, but when you operate it, it's nice. Could of course be better with the scope close to you all the time and such, but not highly. What more? Caliber change. How do you change caliber? Because this is one of the rifles where you can change caliber quite easily. So basically, you open up the rifle. The magazine is of course dependent on which caliber you have. You detach it like this. And if you have this complete assembly, then basically you just need to put it back here again. If it's another pattern in the back of the cartridge, you have this part which you also need to replace. Goes quite quickly. So just in a matter of seconds you could change your caliber. Of course, this is quite a substantial part, but all of this of course keeps its accuracy, and you wouldn't have any problems there. A really swift caliber change with very little fuss. And I think this is a guiding rod here, and I think maybe you can see it. I guess this is the sign of German engineering. It's very tight tolerances here, and probably one of the reasons why it runs so smoothly. It just disappears soundlessly. Assembling it back, very straightforward. And then you're good to go. You have a little switch here that you can use to carry it in two different ways: the rifle completely open, or partially closed. That might be a little bit finicky to find the exact point, but there you have it. If you want to show that, it's empty, or at least not in a very unsafe condition. And speaking about safety, when you're looking at this one, if you're reloading or shoot some dubious ammunition, you have such a sturdy construction here. The bolt is basically part of the rifle. I have a very hard time see that this could come back to you with some significant danger, even if you charge it really hard. I wouldn't recommend it, of course. It can be very dangerous in other ways. You have some vent holes and such, but things traveling towards your face will be very unlikely. It's an extremely sturdy construction. But this also brings us to maybe one of the missed opportunities, as I see it. Basically, what we have here is that the magazine is located in this position. It could have been open. You could have had the opportunity to feed in more rounds here, not be restricted to 4, in this case 4. Would of course destroy a little bit of the appearance of the rifle, but you wouldn't be limited to 4. Or another option like the Blaser R8. What if you could have put the magazine in this position here? Feeding it maybe from the top, it would be a little bit finicky, but this construction really opens up that it could be quite straightforward also. Maybe depending on which scope you would have and such. In that case, you could have a very neat and short rifle. It could be shorter with basically, this distance. Two missed opportunities, or at least two different opportunities that they could have been running with. Still quite nice, but if it would have been for that, it could have been a very neat rifle. And I mentioned the precision already, and in this case with a 6x6 magnification, I think that's definitely the limiting factor for this rifle. It would be interesting to put a higher magnification scope on it and see how far it would be possible to push it. So even this 9.3 by 62 shoots very nicely in very tight groups. I guess that's the precision you get. The drawbacks, and it's a little bit heavy. And what more? I mentioned the missed opportunity. There's a limited magazine capacity, and I guess this is a kind of proprietary magazine, also quite specific for the rifle. And of course, shooting with support is a bit of an issue. If you have like one single support stick, or maybe a stick with two supports, no problem at all. You can run it as usual. I've tried both and it works very nice. If you're shooting from some type of stand or something like that, also works nicely. You of course need to disengage from the stand a little bit and then come back. The benefit is of course that you have both your hands on the important part. Or you can then of course swiftly move to another position. But like bench rest shooting, that's not really the thing for this one. You can do it, and as I said, it works very nicely, very high precision, but it's a little bit awkward to fire your shots, lift it up a little bit, return it back, and then fire it again. A little bit awkward, if that's your game, this is not the gun, I would say. But then again, why would you buy such a gun? I think I mentioned most of the stuff here. One thing to mention also is of course the woodworking here. I think it's got a little bit some minor scratch marks, but the woodwork is really nice. It's of course not for free, this rifle. It's a little bit costly. I think it was around, last time I checked, it was maybe 2,500 euros or dollars, whatever you like. But I think you might be able to find it used. If you find it, you can get it for a little bit reduced price. And if you would buy this in like 9.3 by 62 like this one, and add the barrel like 223 or something like that, then you have very nice hunting opportunities. I think the mounts are proprietary stuff for, or actually I think I bought it from a second supplier, so it's not really locked down. But I think they are flirting a little bit with the option that you can run it with, that you can change the optics fairly quickly. One note, this is how I mounted it before. Nowadays I prefer to mount it with the screws on the other side, but it might be a little bit decided also on the mount, how it works and such. But this is how it is on this one. I don't want stuff that could potentially interact with the case when it leaves, but not much of an issue. That's more of me also probably. So all in all, it's a really sweet rifle. It's good looking, it's fast. I think I mentioned it already. At least if you're looking at a little bit heavier calibers, it's fast as a semi-auto, but you get precision from the bolt action. And it's a really nice thing from an engineering standpoint. That's the main reason why I wanted to bring this one up for you to see. What more? Yeah. The extra stuff. I think the caliber 9.3 by 62 is a really nice caliber. I've been using it from fairly small deer and some pigs and such, and yeah, it has a very nice impact while not being too much. You can handle it. I've been running 15 gram bullets, so fairly small bullets for this rifle, but with those, yeah, it's very manageable. And also this optics, it's a Monarch 7 from Nikon. I think they are not making these anymore, but 1.5 to 6 is for what's it called? The 4 span makes for a really nice and efficient optic. Yeah, sad that they don't make these anymore. So that's for the peripheral parts, but yeah, the gun itself, really a marvel of engineering. And yeah, if you're some type of engineering nut, yeah, consider it. Okay, thank you and take care.